What's going on, guys? It's Ant-Man here with In Self Investing, and I wanted to make another video today to walk through and give kind of a rundown of how exactly to use Thinkorswim and some of the best practices you can use when you're setting up your trade station, because it can look a little overwhelming at first glance, but really it's not too bad, and it shouldn't take you very long to get used to the way that everything functions on Thinkorswim. It's really not too complicated after you get the hang of it. In Thinkorswim, you have what's called studies right here. This little icon with like the little scientific beaker looking thing. So when you click that, it brings up a menu that gives you all of the possible studies that you can overlay onto your charts. There is a whole bunch. You definitely don't need to know all these. It has a search bar, so you can type in like the most important things that you want to look after. So like volume is really important. So here you can see it has like things related to volume. Let's say you want to look at the RSI. And you can just double click and add that over, and it'll add it to your setup. So basically I have a simple moving average with the 200-day timeline, and also an exponential average on a 15-day timeline. So the exponential average is going to be the blue line that you see here, and the 200-day simple moving average will be the green line that you see here. That's going to be the average over a 200-day period, while the exponential moving average is over a 15-day period. So it tracks much more closely to the price action, which is the blue line that you see here, where my cursor is. In addition to that, I have the VWAP, which is this top line, this top pink line, the bottom yellow line, and then the purple line here in the middle. A lot of times you use the VWAP to identify trends between the top and middle and bottom VWAP. Volume average. So I have my volume listed on top of my chart, which is not normal. It's typically not like that. I'll show you how to do that here in just a sec. So basically I have my volume layered on top of the chart here, which is where these blue lines are. And then I have the volume settings set to an average, so a numerical average represented in white. So this white line represents the volume movement in a numerical sense. The volume is represented in terms of millions here on the left. So if we see like here in the top point here today of the action of some specific holdings, they were sitting at over 2 million volume, which is pretty good for this stock. So we got volume. RSI is going to be this middle chart that you see here. That's relative strength index, essentially another indicator showing the relative strength of price movement based off of the popularity of the stock and how many people are buying it. So as you can see, as the RSI went from oversold here in the blue, as it tracked upwards towards being overbought, the volume had increased significantly. So as volume increased, the RSI became overbought, which essentially is what caused this pullback here. And as you can see, volume died down. As volume died down, price action stopped moving as much, and eventually it continued to sell off a little bit more. Or in we have the MACD here in the last chart here along the bottom. That's going to be it for the studies section. As you can see, you can switch between strategies and sets and studies, or you can import your own from downloads that you take off of websites. And where you place each of these different overlays, where it shows up on the graph is determined by where you place it here in this window in the menu. So we'll click apply, and then we'll click OK, and now we're back to our charts. So just as an example, I'll show you what this looks like whenever you remove her. Next we'll go here into our settings. We'll start in general. I'll just kind of cover the things that I think are important that I've messed with and adjusted myself that aren't the default settings. Essentially, here we have show trades, which shows us whenever we buy or sell a stock, so it is not showing up. Yeah, this is what you select. This really bugs out on me a lot. But essentially, here we have show last price bubble, show high, low price bubbles. That's these bubbles that you see here. Low, high. Those are the bubbles that it's talking about. Show symbol logo. That'll essentially show a company's logo right here in the left-hand corner of this chart. Here's the overlap volume section that I was talking about earlier. This is what places the volume on the chart. Time axis, this you can adjust if you want. I typically only adjust this here, and you can do whatever you want, but I usually keep mine at 100 or 200. And that essentially is creating this gap here in between the current price and the future on the graph. So if I hit apply, it actually extends because I increased it by 100. Yeah, so that's really all I mess with there. Here you have all of your time periods that you can analyze on your charts, and you can customize them and move them around how you want. I have them in order because I'm OCD. You can add new time frame and then adjust everything however you like. Here you can also customize your charts so that it looks exactly how you want it. This is how I have mine because I have slowly developed a liking for this style of setup from all of the people that I've been following and learning how to trade from. So we're in appearance, so you can change how the candlesticks look, make them filled, not filled, to where the red doesn't fill, no wicks. You can change the background, you can change it away from the candles, bars. I usually don't change anything here. I guess you could change all of this because this is your content for all of your news on the left. Now we've done settings and the studies. So we have the chart describer, which is basically just developing some charts for you if you do not create them yourselves. Take that off. We'll remove this study. And I just did that by right clicking it and then clicking remove. So that's adding studies to the chart. Here we have, you can share a immediate copy of the chart itself for yourself on your trades. Here you can change the time scale of each candle. So here we're on the 1 day, 1 minute chart. 1 day, 1 minute, meaning each black box is 1 day of trading, market open to market close, with one candlestick being 1 minute. So each minute is a candlestick along time from 8:30 a.m. until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was able to see those times by using my cursor to go to the conversion between gray and black, which is going from pre-market to market open. And up here up top, you see it gives you the date time, open price, high, low, close price. You get the deal. Volume. Here on style, you can adjust many of your settings for the cosmetic layout of your trading station, and you can do some quick changes here, like on your price, chart style, how your candles look, and then drawing allows you to cycle through your drawing tools here. This is how you get to your trend lines if you want to draw a trend line. So if you want to draw some support for this, now once you select trend line is going to be active until you change it. So you can just go to drawing tools, and now it's a pointer. So, and you can do all kinds of stuff. I'll let you play with it though. This is how you remove drawings. So these are all of the studies that are built internally within Thinkorswim. And then you can save your study set so that it is the same every time you open the application. So that whenever if it does change and something messes up, you can just go here and load it to load the way that you had it before. Patterns, same thing. Then we have, if you're into this, you have level 2 data right here, showing price movement. Market's closed right now, so it's not really too active. And then you can do active trader here and use key bindings to make your trading be quicker, and do buy orders based off of price movement here in the active trader. In addition, let's get rid of level 2 and active trader. Now that we've covered most of the really important things on that side, I'll mention that up here on this top bar, we have the Education Center, where you can go and get a plethora of knowledge and resources on all kinds of stuff related to finance and investing, and learning the whole system itself, Thinkorswim. Charts are really important. MarketWatch is an actual visual representation of stocks and how they're doing that day. You got all kinds of information and data that you can do. This is a scanner, so you can run scanners to look for your specific criteria. So you got analyzation, where you can measure your risk, get more information and data to analyze all of your stock picks. Not something I use a whole lot. I just recently started using the trade function because I just started trading some options. So this is where you would do your options trading. That's right here under trade, and then you go to all products, and this is your options chain. So here's your active trader tab, so you can manage multiple equities at once and see their volume versus share price changing. And then there's monitor, which allows you to see exactly what activity has gone on within your account in terms of orders. And as you can see, it gives you all of your specs on your account status. As you can see, this account's up 78%. It's doing pretty good. There's a few more things under monitor that you can use to keep track of your account. I'm not going to click on those because it has a little bit more information that I want to give out. And finally, we'll end with this left side here, which you can completely customize yourself with watch lists, which are very important. once you have those set in, click this little button here and edit each of these gadgets. So you can detach it, switch it, take it off, delete it, and then to actually edit the watch list itself, you got to hit this little bitty gear and go to customize. And then you can customize what's actually in the watch list in terms of parameters on this top line here. You edit all of those with this customize. So, and you can just remove and add. Not really complicated, but it'll confuse you at first if you're not careful. And just lastly, I'll go back to charts. I'll show you guys that my watch list have this little red tab, and this is red. So basically that makes it so that whenever I click, it automatically updates the chart with wherever I click inside of my watch list. So this becomes very beneficial when you have multiple windows, which is something I did not mention. So we'll talk about that. If you go over here, you can extend the amount of stocks that you're looking at once. So I make this box, now I can put all kinds of stuff. This is where I can show this principle. So if we go here and click red, click this little button here, click link. Now it's linked to here because it's red. So now when I move around, it updates everything to the same stock. This makes it so that you can see different timelines. So we'll do 1 day, 1 minute on the 30-day. But as you can see, the charts look different. So if you wanted to load, if you wanted them to look the same, you can go to studies, nothing. Now we're good. So now if we were looking at, say we want to look at 2 different stocks. Now we put this on yellow, and we'll put this on yellow. So now one changes and the other doesn't. But we'll move this one, and it doesn't change. Cool stuff. And you can also click here and save that as a workstation. So, man, we talked about a lot. The last thing I'll show you is how to buy. The way I usually do it is when I'm looking at a stock and I say, okay, yeah, I want to buy this stock. I go here, I click buy. You click buy, it brings this up. It's always going to do in increments of 100 or buy, or you can go the other way, do sell. So you're always going to need to customize this. Let's say you want a 25. The only thing you really need to worry about at the beginning is adjusting your price here, the type of order you're making. I can go over all of this in another video. What kind of trade it is, and which account the trade is coming from. So I have 3 accounts, so I have to make sure that I'm pulling the money from an account that is valid. You can also do multiple accounts, or you split to where you can do simultaneous purchases all within one purchase. So you can also sell the same way, or you can do these buy customs, which is more complicated, so you can do some research on that. But ultimately, once you hit send here, it'll send the order. So, that being said, I'll leave you guys with one last thing. While you're charting these stocks, it's valuable to always keep them in your watch list and keep up with them so that you can time when they're on sale. When you can time whenever a stock is undervalued. And a good way to keep up with stocks without having to constantly stare at the screen is to set alerts. And to do that, you just right click, create alert, mark stands for market price. So the current price that it's at. give me an alert when this stock's market price is at or above this price. So send me a notification, and you hit create. I've adjusted it so that the alert is just a triangle. That's right here. I have an arrow. It was only because the show alerts is pretty obnoxious. I'll just show you. So here's the show alert, which I'm not a fan of, so I'll take that off. Arrow only, apply, much better. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully they keep getting better. This is already more than I made last year. I'm excited for what's to come. Thanks for your time, guys. Have a great day.